Hola, ¿cómo estás, hermanos y hermanas? Hello. So this video is going to be a review of Last Night in Soho. Last Night in Soho is Edgar Wright's newest film. Edgar Wright is the director who directed, created Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz, The World's End, most recently Baby Driver. He also did that Scott Pilgrim versus the World. Wasn't a fan of that, but it's his latest film. And this is going to be my review of it. So what is Last Night in Soho about? Last Night in Soho is about a young woman, young girl called Eloise, played by Thomasin McKenzie. She's the actress that's in Jojo Rabbit, which is a really good film. It's about her going to university, moving to London to become a fashion designer. She's from Cornwall, she lives with her nan, and she is totally obsessed with the 60s. The fashion, the music, the whole lot. The film starts with her sort of dancing while the credits roll, you know, doing those sort of moves. It's quite a good opening and very quirky. It sort of reminded me of Wes Anderson. But yeah, she goes to university, got big ambitions, got big dreams to make it in London, like her mum before her. But when she gets there, she doesn't really like living in halls. The girl she lives with, I don't know that actress's name, but she plays the character really well, isn't very nice, is a little bit bitchy, competitive. She's like one of the girls in Mean Girls. She's like a bit like Regina George. I think that's her name. You know, the main Mean Girl. She's a bit like that, and she's also on the same course. She's an aspiring fashion designer too. So very quickly into the film, Eloise realises, I don't want to live here. So she rents a single bed in an apartment in Soho. Dame Diana Rigg is her landlady. Dame Diana Rigg is Lady Tyrell in the Game of Thrones series. And it took me a while to realise that's who it was when I saw her on screen. But what I didn't realise, which I thought was really cool retrospectively, was that Diana Rigg was a siren and a desired actress from the 1960s. And this film, which I haven't got to yet, sort of focuses heavily on that time period. So it was good casting to include her. I like that was a nice touch. So Diana Rigg, yeah, is her landlady. She's renting the room to Eloise. Now, whenever Eloise goes to bed in this room she's renting, she's transported back to the 1960s, the sort of mid to late 60s. And when she's transported back to that time period, she sees the world almost exclusively through the eyes of Anya Taylor-Joy's character. Anya Taylor-Joy's character is called Sandy, and this is in the 60s. And she is a aspiring singer. She wants to be a superstar. When we first meet her, she goes into a club and Cilla Black is performing. An actress is playing a young Cilla Black, and Cilla Black's like the biggest thing. I never really knew her from Blind Date. Shout out to that show. But she's in this and she wants to be like Cilla Black, but better, basically. She goes into the club and she's like, I want to speak to the owner. I'm the next big star, rah, rah, rah. And she then meets Matt Smith's character. Matt Smith, I've never seen him in anything before, but he was Doctor Who. And yeah, he meets her, she meets him. He is like a manager, he works in show business. And they then go on to have a relationship. And you follow that through Eloise, who's living vicariously as Sandy when she dreams. When she's awake in reality, when she's in class, she's designing stuff and making clothes that Sandy wears. And, you know, she's mocked by that mean girl on the course as like, oh, she's a weirdo. She's obsessed with the 60s, but her teacher, her lecturer, is really impressed with the designs and says to her like, "Oh, these are really retro. These are cool. Where'd you get the ideas from?" Because she's drawing Sandy and like the outfits that she's wearing, and she's just like, "Oh, it's just somebody I know." Very quickly, things start to unravel for Sandy. That Matt Smith isn't all that he seemed to be or promised to be. And his performance is good, as are all the characters, to be fair in this, but his character's good because he doesn't have a main role, but he could have very easily become a cliched character. You know, he's a bit of a Cockney geezer, he's always smoking, but he walks tightrope. Is that the right thing? He toes the line of, he doesn't do too much, which is good. But yeah, things start to unravel for Sandy in a bad way, and because of that, they start to unravel for Eloise, and she's sort of losing it, and she wants justice, she wants closure, she wants to know what happened to Sandy, and I won't go into any more. And that's basically what the film is about. All the performances are good. The costumes are good, the music's good. Music plays a big role in the film, a lot like it does in Baby Driver. It's almost like a character. There are some decisions from a storytelling point of view that Edgar Wright makes that I'm not sure. I've since read that the film has received mixed reviews. It's a little bit divisive, and yeah, I think that's due to some of these decisions he makes. It's many genres in one. It's a coming of age story, it's a psychological thriller, it's a slasher movie at points, and maybe it trying to be all those different things at once is to the film's detriment. But like I say, the performance is good. That Thomasin McKenzie, I think, is really good in it. Like, she's good in Jojo Rabbit. She's quite an innocent, sometimes a little bit breathy in her delivery and her cadence, but she's good. She's likeable. Anya Taylor-Joy is really vivacious, coquettish, ambitious, beautiful. She puts in a good performance, and I quite like the roles that Anya Taylor-Joy has taken in her career, from Queen's Gambit to The Witch to the Shyamalan films, it's Split and that. She's got an interesting career for sure. She's good in it. There are some other old-timey actors that I don't remember their names, like Diana Rigg, that are all good in it. But yeah, ultimately, the direction that the film goes in might lead one to leave the cinema thinking, I'm not sure about that. But if you're a fan of Edgar Wright, definitely go see it. If you're a fan of any of the actors that are in it, go and see it, because I think they turn in good performances. But yeah, weird one. It is a weird one. It's worth seeing. I think a lot of people would be able to get something out of it, especially the angle of like going to university, leaving home, you know, becoming independent, stepping out of the shadow of your parents. It's good with that, but like I say, the last third of the film, I think it falls apart a little bit, but regardless, it's a good film. It's a unique film. It's original. Well, it's somewhat original. But yeah, if you go and see it, let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, and all of that stuff. If you can support the Movember stuff, that'd be brilliant. Cheers.